Welcome to It's Good to Be Smart. I'm your host, Dr. Dave Mulder. I love to learn new things, and I hope you do too, because it's good to be smart. In this episode, we're cracking open a huge question. What are living things actually made of? Let's get into it. You've probably heard the word organic before, maybe on a food label, like organic apples or organic cereal. In everyday life, organic usually means natural or grown without chemicals, but in science, it means something totally different. In chemistry, organic simply means that a substance contains the element carbon. And here's something wild. As far as we know, all life on Earth is carbon-based. Every plant, animal, fungus, even bacteria, you name it, depends on carbon to survive. But carbon doesn't work alone. It teams up with other elements like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus to create the organic compounds that make life possible. And no matter what kind of living thing you are, a person, a tree, or even a jellyfish, you use the same 4 main types of organic compounds to stay alive. Let's break them down. Up first, we've got carbohydrates, or as you probably call them, carbs. These are your body's go-to energy source. Think about your favorite breakfast, maybe toast, cereal, or pancakes. That's carbs in action. Carbohydrates come in different forms. Simple carbohydrates, like sugar, give you quick bursts of energy. Ever eaten candy and felt a sudden rush of energy? That's simple carbs at work. Then there are complex carbohydrates, like pasta, rice, and potatoes. These take longer to break down, giving you steady energy over time. Even plants use carbohydrates. Trees and flowers make a type of complex carb called cellulose, which helps build strong cell walls. Without it, plants would be floppy and weak. But carbs don't just give us energy or provide support to plants. Here are some other cool ways they work in living things. Plants store energy as a carbohydrate called starch. This is how potatoes and grains like wheat and corn store all their extra energy. When you eat them, your body breaks that starch down into simple sugars for fuel. Glucose is a simple kind of sugar that many living things use as their basic form of energy. Your blood carries glucose throughout your whole body to get it to your cells, which use the sugar to generate energy they need to do all the things that keep you alive. Your body keeps a steady level of glucose in your blood to make sure your brain and muscles always have energy. And insects use a carbohydrate called chitin for many of their body structures. Chitin forms the hard outer shell of bugs like crickets and beetles. It's kind of like natural armor, and it's made from a carbohydrate. Okay, got the picture for carbohydrates? They're especially useful for energy, but they can also provide structure and support for some organisms. Up next, lipids. That's the sciencey name for fats, oils, and waxes. And before you think, oh, fat sounds bad, hold on, your body needs lipids. Fats help store energy for later. Think of a bear getting ready for hibernation. It eats a lot in the fall, storing fat to survive the winter. And humans do this too, just on a smaller scale. Lipids also help protect your organs, insulate your body, and even build cell membranes, the outer layer of every single cell in your body. So you seriously need fats in your life. Without lipids, your cells would just fall apart. Here are 3 other cool things lipids can do. Birds and ducks use waxy lipids on their feathers. This helps them stay dry even when they swim. Have you ever heard the phrase, like water off a duck's back? That's a way of saying we shouldn't worry about things, just like ducks don't worry about being a little wet. The lipids on their feathers are what makes them so waterproof. Whales and seals have a thick layer of fat called blubber. This is super important for these water-dwelling creatures because it keeps them warm in freezing waters. Pretty cool, but it actually keeps them warm. And plants use lipids to make waterproof coatings on their leaves. This helps them keep moisture inside so they don't dry out in the sun. Think of cactus. We might picture their spiky spines first, but if you can get past the spikes, you can maybe picture the waxy coating on the outside of a cactus. So let's keep in mind that lipids are actually super important for the health of organisms. Fats aren't bad, they're essential for living things. What's next? Say hello to proteins. These are the ultimate builders of the body. Proteins make up your muscles, skin, hair, and even help with digestion. When you eat protein-rich foods like meat, beans, or eggs, your body breaks them down into tiny building blocks called amino acids, and then uses those to build up your body's own proteins. But proteins do more than just build stuff. Some proteins act as enzymes, which are like tiny machines that speed up chemical reactions in your body. Without them, even simple things like digesting food would take forever. Here are 3 other ways proteins keep life running. Hemoglobin is an important protein in red blood cells. It carries oxygen through your body so you can breathe. Spider silk is made of protein, and it's super strong. Ounce for ounce, it's stronger than steel. And antibodies are special proteins that help keep you healthy. Antibodies are a really important part of your immune system. They help fight off bacteria and viruses so you don't get sick. To sum it up for the proteins, these are insanely important compounds that are used for building all kinds of parts of living things, and they can also play important roles in making other chemical reactions happen in the cells of organisms. Last but definitely not least, we have nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. You've probably heard of DNA before, and you have some idea that it carries all the instructions for how to make an organism. And that's really the truth. DNA and RNA are the complex molecules that carry all the instructions for life. You can think of DNA as being like a cookbook filled with recipes for making every part of your body. It tells your cells how to grow, how to function, even what color your eyes will be. Without nucleic acids, life wouldn't exist as we know it. Every living thing, humans, animals, plants, even bacteria, has DNA or RNA storing their genetic instructions. Here are 3 other cool things about nucleic acids. Would you believe that you share DNA with a banana? It's true. Believe it or not, about 60% of human DNA is exactly the same as a banana's. While you're obviously not turning into a tasty yellow fruit anytime soon, this just shows how all living things share a common genetic code. Your body makes about 2 million new cells every second, and guess what? Every single one of those cells needs a complete copy of your DNA. Your body is constantly copying DNA at lightning speed to keep you alive and growing. The DNA in every cell of your body is almost 2 meters long. It's incredibly thin, just a couple atoms wide, but the DNA in each cell is over 6 feet in length if you were able to stretch it out from end to end. That's right, if you stretched out the DNA from just one of your cells, it would be taller than most people. Nucleic acids are information-carrying molecules. The DNA and RNA in an organism carry all the information needed to build that whole organism. So, that's the basics of organic compounds: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. These are the most essential chemical compounds that make life work. But before we wrap up, here are a few more mind-blowing facts about organic compounds. Here's one you probably never thought about before. You eat DNA every day. Every plant and animal you eat contains DNA. It just gets broken down when you digest it. Would you believe it if I told you that your brain is 60% fat? It's true. Yep, lipids aren't just in your belly. They keep your brain working right by helping to conduct the signals brain cells transmit from one to another when you think, remember, and learn. I cannot stress enough just how important proteins are for almost every different function inside of living cells. Even though all proteins are made up from just 20 different amino acids, your body can combine them in different ways to make over 100,000 unique proteins, each one with a specific job like digesting food, fighting infections, or carrying oxygen. Let's recap. Organic compounds are chemical substances that are made of carbon with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus mixed in. The 4 main types of organic compounds are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. These 4 categories of substances play essential roles in keeping cells alive and healthy by providing them energy, support, structure, and the capability to reproduce to make new cells. These compounds are so important, life could not exist without them. So the next time you eat, move, or even think, remember, it's all thanks to organic compounds. These carbon-based molecules make all the chemistry of life work. Thanks for joining me for this episode, and nice work leveling up your brain power today. Remember, smart isn't something you are, it's something we become as we're learning. So keep listening, keep learning, and keep getting smarter every day. It's Good to Be Smart is created and produced by me, Dr. Dave Mulder, with the support of the National Science Foundation through the Robert Noyce Teacher Scholarship Program. Subscribe to this feed so you'll never miss an episode, and check out our home on the web, goodtobesmart.com. Until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and keep learning, because it's good to be smart.